Alright guys, so today I'm going to be taking a look at Tactile. So I really enjoy the experimental side of audio. I like to mangle things, and I like to add layers of effects and chop and rearrange and just all sorts of shit like that. Sampleson got me by hitting me with the advertisements on my social media, and it worked, and I was really intrigued. I thought it was cool looking. I reached out to them. They were really cool about it, and we're like, yeah, let's see what kind of video you can make. And here we are. I am going to show you why I think it's cool and what kind of things you can do with it. All right, so this is Tactile. It's actually, it's pretty simple in terms of like controls and stuff. There's not a whole lot to it. It's got some presets with some like built-in wave files that you can use to make sounds and things like that, kind of learn the ropes of it. So I have loaded up a copy of Arturia's ARP 2600. I just pulled up the first sequence preset that they had just so I could get things going. It sounds like this. And I bounced that in place so I could create a wave file, because you have to drag wave files. You can't run it as an effect. It's a standalone instrument. Went in here to the bounced file, and I pulled it up in the Explorer here, and I drug it into the Tactile program. I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it right now. But yeah, and then once you pull it in there, it's actually pretty simple. The controls are pretty simple. There's not a lot to it. There's some presets in there that are just pretty much wave files that you can practice with, essentially. But you can take two wave files and add them in, and then work on them simultaneously. Right now, all I have is the one. Basic settings, just the zoom factor, it's the only thing in here that I see. And then you have the record, the play options here, which is pretty cool because you hit record, and then you can move your mouse however you want and create a wave file, which I've done right here, and I'll show it to you in just a second. You have this ambient slider, which essentially, well, here, let me show you what this does first. Drag your mouse across it, and then you get really cool sounds. Type of creator that I am, that sounds awesome to me. I imagine that being used in drones, horror movies, just sound design in general. You can make an incredible mud pie out of something like this and use it to create some like insane, like dubsteppy mechanical sounds, like this right here. Yeah. Anyways, the ambient slider. You raise that ambient slider, then everything's just got a lot of reverb on it. It's cool, but if I'm gonna add reverb, I'll just do it after the fact. So I just kept that ambient slider down. It's cool to add that on there though. So what you do, you record a file, you hit record, you start moving your mouse around, and then this play button will turn into a stop button. You stop it, and then the wave is created here. And you can take that wave and you can just drag it straight into your DAW. One thing I will note though is that when you drag it in, I don't know if it's going to do it now, but it did it earlier. When you drag it in, it took it a second for the wave file to come up. As a matter of fact, I don't think the wave file actually ever came up. I had to delete it and then drag it in again, and then it was fine. Just a little minor thing. Yeah, so after you drag that in, this is what we have. Let me make sure I don't have any effects on here. Nope. All right. That's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm not just saying this because they sent it to me for free. I just really genuinely love shit like this. Like, it is really fun to play with. I could spend hours and hours just creating, these kind of like haunting moans and groans from machines, or you can use the sounds of like this monster here. Let's add that in there. The second sound will be in blue. Let's just play that by itself first. Kind of creepy. But yeah, I chose to leave that off. But you can do both at the same time. So you have my sound here, and then you have the monster here mixed in with mine. All right, so then you can, I mean, you could do some crazy shit with this. I'm telling you, like. Okay, I should have left that in when I made my WAV file, but okay. Anyways, so now that we have the WAV file in there, to me, this is where the fun part starts. We're able to start loading in our own effects and just getting crazy with the sound, and start doing some like serious sound design. I have already added some effects before I started recording, but I'll go over those effects with you here. What we got is I started out with the good old classic OTT to kind of beef up that sound. Let me get rid of all these other ones real quick. This is what it sounded like before. And this is with OTT. I love OTT. So after adding OTT, I added Bitwig's Harmonic Split. It splits the mids, lows, and highs. And allows you to like add effects to them individually, which to me is super fun. It allows so many possibilities to do so many crazy things. Let's start with the lows here. I'm going to solo the lows, and I've got some effects here on the lows. I just put a phaser on the lows, actually. On the mids, I added a lot of shit, apparently. Oh yeah, that's right. I put the Crystalline reverb, which is one of my favorite reverbs, but I took it off because it was making it a little muddy. Added distortion, added EQ, I cut off the highs a bit, and then added Rift modulation through the Rift plugin, which Rift is one of my favorite plugins of all time. But here is what the mids sound like without. And then this is them with the effects. Alright, that was harsh, but this is the highs. And on the highs, I added a tiny little bit of distortion on there. I think I pulled that down quite, yeah, the dry wet's quite low on that. But, well, once you put them all together, then you got... pretty crazy. And then I added a Morph EQ, which is awesome. Also made by the same people who make Rift, which is minimal audio. I used that to morph the EQ. It does some crazy shit. I can't even like break it down unless we make a 20-30 minute video. Got a scale detector here. We're not actually using that. So yeah, we went from sounding like this to sounding like this. I mean, it's a lot of fun. This was literally the first thing that I threw in here. I plan on using this on a lot of my experimental stuff. We're working on a score right now, and this is going to make for some amazing, you know, like suspenseful, dramatic, like almost horror style sounds to add in the background for that to really bring out the emotions in the movie. So yeah, that is Tactile by Sampleson. I enjoy it, not just because they sent it to me, but like for real enjoy it. I don't know if they have a free trial or not. Doesn't look like it. Download now, add to cart. No, it's got demos on here, but I don't see a free trial. But you saw it in action. If it seems like something you like, jump on it. If not, that's cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it's helpful. If you want to see more things like this, let me know. This is kind of my first just specific plugin review. So let me know what you think in the comments. I hate asking people to leave comments. That's one of the things I hate most about YouTube is the cringiness of asking to leave comments and subscribe and hit the bell notification and all that stuff. I'm going to try my hardest just not to do that. I legitimately just asked you to leave a comment because I'm curious what you thought of the video. Do or don't, I don't care. I hope you guys have an awesome day.